Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelman, at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the Saturday slate. A bunch of games on the Saturday slate. I can't remember exactly how many. I think it's 13. And a lot of great spots on the slate. If you follow me over on X, you already saw my post. You're going to hear the words, I like goals, heavy over history, and a high-scoring game very often on this slate. Now, there are some games that, of course, are probably going to be low-scoring, but there are a lot of games that I think are going to be high-scoring in this Saturday slate, which is always great. If you have not yet already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the video, and become a member on the YouTube channel, and you will get all of my plays for Saturday, including all my premium plays, including my NFL premium play for tomorrow. I have a side play in the Seahawks and 49ers game, where I also give my thoughts on who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, because I may have a pick from that game. So make sure to hit the join button, and then tomorrow morning, after I've locked in my full card, because there will be some props that I end up locking in tomorrow morning. Once my full card is done, I post it here on the YouTube channel to members on the channel. So hit the join button, $4.99 a month, gets you access to all my premium plays, including that NFL play that I really like for tomorrow night. No Friday slate to recap yet, because all the plays I gave out on the show have yet to start yet. So we will get to that tomorrow night when we discuss the Sunday show. But having said that, we're going to jump into the chat here. Oh, and I guess I should start with, as normal, on Friday night, Saturday slate, I don't have point streaks for tomorrow. I only have goal streaks. So unfortunate, but that's the case when doing the show early. Terry. Hey, Boog, how's it going? Nice to see you. Good vibes. Hello, Nicholas. We'll be talking about your Sabres very soon. What's up, Terry? Hey, SB. Not too much. Oh, what's good, T-Dog? Not too, or everything's good. Things are good. Mr. Edelman. Hello, Mr. Earl. Terry, do you see goals tonight in the outdoor game? I'm debating unloading the clip. Boog did not watch today's show, but that's okay. I forgive you. I forgive it. You're a member of the channel, so you're, of course, always forgiven. I am on the over 5.5 in that game. 21 of the last 22 meetings between Florida and New York have gone over 5.5. Yes, it's the Winter Classic. Yes, they are playing in the Miami Stadium. They'll have the retractable dome open. Ice factors may be a case or may be a situation, but Rangers and Panthers overs have made me so much money for quite a few seasons now. I have to bet the over. Things can happen. Outdoor games have gone over the Winter Classic. 4 of the last 6 Winter Classic games have gone over. I'm on the over. We'll see what happens. What's up, Terry? Hey, SB. Rangers on bad ice, Florida, and the under. I do like Florida, but I like the over. Should I sprinkle on Jared McCann goal tonight? He's been good. So you can look at him. Happy New Year's to you. Happy New Year's to you, Rich. Rams beat the Patriots for the Super Bowl. I hope that is the prediction. Interesting. No, that's not the prediction, but hi, Terry. I cashed with Dorofeyev. Awesome, Timothy. Happy to hear that. I mentioned him for a point here on the show. I was on the over, which cash in that game is a premium play, so a good start to the day so far. Goal streak kept me off in the Rangers, Florida. The model likes the under. Yeah, we'll have to see. It could very well go under. It could, but I've made so much money off that over history, and I have to stick with it. You and Tim Sabres. Yep, we'll be talking about them. Boog's laughing. Fireside gave me props. Thanks, Fireside. What's up, brother? Hey, Swag. Hope all's good. 10,000 on the over. Now, Boog. Bet responsibly. Bet responsibly. Fave Rangers to score. I don't have any. I do have Adam Fox to get an assist. Is my other play. Plus 100. Would it shock me to see him score as well? But Fox did not make the Olympic team. I think he's going to come out a little bit pissed, I guess you could say. I think he's going to have an extra pep in his step tonight. So keep an eye on Adam Fox. I have him for an assist, though. So he'll probably score, hopefully get an assist as well. 10, we are going for the record. Yes, you are. And I like your chances, real deal. You're going to like my breakdown of the Sabres game, which is up second. We have one game before that. So we'll, of course, get to the Sabres game second. But Pittsburgh, plus 125, road dogs. Detroit, minus 150, home favorites. And a total of 6.5 here in our first game. If this game seems familiar, it's because these two teams just faced each other yesterday. The Pittsburgh Penguins getting the overtime win, cashing the over for me, a cash Crosby assist. Fortunately, Cider point did not get there. I wish it wasn't minus 115. I wish it was minus 125, minus 130. I wanted to pull the trigger on it, but 6-2 day yesterday. Great day, so I'm not going to complain there. Now these two teams are facing each other once again. No confirmed goalies at this time. Of course, it is Friday night, so we won't know until, especially with a noon game, probably won't know until half hour before the game starts. Could be sooner, but you'll have to see tomorrow. But Stuart Skinner unconfirmed, John Gibson unconfirmed. Of course, the other two goaltenders started in the game yesterday, so I would assume that they would probably switch goalies here. Very similar stats. Skinner, 2.91 goals against average, 2.97 for Gibson. 887 save percentage for Skinner, 894 for Gibson, both two shutouts. 12, 11, and 4 for Skinner, 13, 8, and 1 for Gibson. So pretty similar numbers overall for these two teams. And looking at previous games between the teams, the Penguins 4-1-1 in the last 6 meetings. So the Penguins have had success here. 3 of the last 5 went to overtime, and 9 of the last 12 between these two teams went over 6.5. 2 games that stayed under finished with 6 goals. So we usually see really high scoring games between these two teams. I'm interested to see if this game goes over once again with the two different goalies here. But for me, Sidney Crosby over half an assist. Now, this will depend on the odds we get for this. Because I got minus 115 in Pittsburgh, now they're heading on the road to Detroit. I'm assuming that I should be able to get around the same, if not a little bit better. But to be determined. The odds here, if I will get to this or not. If it's minus 120, minus 125, yes. If it's minus 130, then I will likely stay off of this one. But Crosby has an assist in 8 games in a row against the Detroit Red Wings. He plays very well against the Detroit Red Wings. So now he did score 2 goals, obviously, in the first game or in the last game. So he could score as well, but I will take him for an assist. We'll check for point odds, but no, we don't have any. Crosby is on a 2-game goal streak, plus 160. James Van Riemsdyk, who we've talked about on the show before, he scored in his last game. He's alternating goals in his last 5 games. He's gone goal, no goal, goal, no goal. So if he keeps that up, it would be a no-goal game for him, but scored in 3 of his last 5 games, plus 460. I'm seeing for JVR to score. So not bad odds at all for a guy who has been scoring recently for the Detroit Red Wings here in this game. And then Cider was hot with his point streak, but I don't think we'll get value here with him in this game being at home in this one. I would love to see Terry mad. I bet he pauses instead of saying curse words. LOL. I've got mad. I've been mad before, and I'm fine with swearing for the most part. But obviously, the show is monetized, so got to be a little bit careful. Writing notes, perfect, awesome. I'm all on Florida tonight. Marchand 1 and 2 anytime goal, not a bad look. He's hot. Reinhart, same thing. Coolman point. Reinhart, Coolman. Are you talking about Lustrinen? Reinhart and Marchand gold parlay, Panarin over 2.5 shots. I like all of it. So I like it. Watching, wow, you're lucky. Watching from the Bahamas, and I got my Law jersey on right now because of you. Let's cash this ticket. I love to hear that. It's awesome that you have a Wild jersey in the Bahamas. That's amazing. Bolding Kaprizov over 1.5 points. I hope to hear it. I hope so. Grinding today. Nice. Keep up the hustle. Thanks, Adrian. Hope you're cashing as well. Boog's laughing. I can get angry, Boog. Don't worry. But right now, there's nothing to be angry about. So we'll see. I'll eventually get angry. Don't worry. Buffalo Sabres minus 110. Columbus minus 110. And a total of 6.5 here in our second game. No goalies here either for this one. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen unconfirmed. Jack Reeves unconfirmed here. Pretty similar numbers overall. 903 save percentage for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 908 for Jack Reeves. 2.46 goals against average for UPL. 2.62 for Jack Reeves. So pretty similar numbers overall. Now, of course, if Columbus was to go to Merzlikins, then there wouldn't be similar numbers overall. Buffalo would have the goalie advantage by far, but we'll have to see exactly what happens there. When I look at this game, I already told you guys on the yesterday's show what I was doing here. Give me the Sabres. Now, minus 110. Some people might look at this and think, hey, this is a little bit fishy for a team that's 110 in a row. You have to look at what Buffalo did before that. I get it. They're red hot, and I like this team. I think they're going to break their franchise record in this game. But I don't think they should be minus 140, minus 150. They shouldn't be huge favorites in this game. They're still on the road. I get the price, but we're being given value here in this game with Buffalo. So Buffalo tied their franchise record with 10 consecutive wins. And what I've noticed about watching the Sabres during this win streak is they are playing a complete game. They're playing well defensively. When they're getting offensive chances, they're shooting, they're putting the puck in the net, but they're getting great goaltending from UPL or from Alex Lyon, who is currently injured. Buffalo, 3.6 goals per game on offense during this stretch, but 1.8 goals against. If you are giving up less than 2 goals a game, you're going to do very well. That's what's happening with Buffalo right now. Couldn't win a road game to save their life. Now they've won 7 games in a row. Columbus, 17, 16, and 6 on the season, but find themselves at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, just with how close the Eastern Conference is right now. Columbus has lost 4 of their last 6 at home, so struggling at home overall. The way I look at it here, this Buffalo Sabres team is on a streak. The players know that they've just tied a franchise record. The players know that they can break a franchise record in this game. And all players, all teams want to break a record of any kind. But if you look at the Sabres team, and you can ask Real Deal Prime and other Sabres fans, it has been, excuse my language, years of hell for Sabres fans, for Sabres players. This team has been an absolute disaster for 14 years now. The Sabres players are tired of hearing about that. The Sabres want to make the playoffs more than any other team in the NHL. They want to keep this win streak going. They want the media to be talking about them breaking a franchise record. I think the Sabres are incredibly motivated here in this game. And minus 110, I absolutely have to pull the trigger on them here in this spot. Now, Columbus has won 3 of the last 4 meetings, but This is Buffalo, and like I just said a few minutes ago, things have not gone well for them for a long time. So when you look at past history stats, the Buffalo Sabres have not played as consistent hockey as they have during this stretch in years. Yes, there's been times when they've been out of it, that they've got hot and gone on runs, but they didn't look like this. I really like everything I'm seeing from Buffalo right now. So I'll go with the Sabres at minus 110 here in this game. Player props. Werenski has scored in 3 games in a row. He's been injured. Could be returning for this game. Other players, Marchenko and Marchman, have scored in 3 of 5. That top line for Columbus is hot. Buffalo has to play very well defensively when that top line is on the ice. Peyton Krebs has scored in 3 of 5 for Buffalo, plus 330. Of course, McLeod was on his point streak. It came to an end in his last game. I'm not going to be taking any props here. I'm just sticking with Sabres money line. 4 of the last 6 meetings have gone under 5.5, and I think this total is too high. I think this total is too high at a 6.5. I think it should be at a 5.5. I get it. There's Columbus. Now, if Elvis Merzlikins is going to start, then that completely changes my thoughts on the total. But if it is UPL against Jeff Greaves, I think the under. This is one spot on the slate where I think it's a good underplay. But give me the Sabres to break their franchise record of consecutive games. If you're watching, join Terry's membership. His private picks are top-notch, better than most dub clubs that I'm in. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Columbus ain't them. They won't stop the streak. Hey, any team can win on every night, but yeah, the Sabres are extremely motivated here in this game. Actually playing defense. They are. They're playing great on all sides of the ice. I'm back. How to switch accounts on my YouTube settings. All good, OG. I had signed up a few weeks ago for your YouTube membership. I know you have. Thank you. I appreciate that. Luka let another puck in is showing. Yeah, no, he has not been letting anything. Well, he has, but he's been very good. Haven't modeled it. Eye test tells me Buffalo puck line team total over. I would be careful though. I would be careful though, because Buffalo is they don't need to score a bunch in this game. Buffalo just wants to win. Now, of course, the players want to have offensive success, but I'd be a little careful with the over, like I said. Now, again, if Elvis Merzlikins happens to start for some reason, then yes, to both. But if it's Greaves, I like Sabres money line. For Buffalo, is it goaltending or shooters? Both. They're getting both and playing well defensively. It's just a complete game. And that's the kind of team you want to bet on, is a team that's playing complete game after game after game. Eventually, they're going to lose. It's going to happen. But excuse my language, Hal, so vulgar. There we go. Who are the VIPs? What do you mean? Who are the members of the channel? It shows, if you go on the YouTube page, it shows, I think, 8 of the members. So, and if you're in the chat, if the person's in the chat, you'll see they have a special thing beside their name. It doesn't show on the screen here, but if you're on YouTube, you should see a special symbol that shows that you're a member on the YouTube. But we'll continue on with our next game, which is the Utah Mammoth and the New Jersey Devils here in this one. Utah plus 105, road dogs. New Jersey minus 125, home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here in this one. Looking at goalies here, of course, none confirmed yet. Karel Vejmelka unconfirmed against Jake Allen. Pretty similar numbers. Allen has slightly better goals against average and better save percentage, but record-wise, Vejmelka has the better record. Looking at these two teams, Utah, what a dominant 7-2 win against the Islanders. Snapped a 2-game losing streak, 1-0 to Colorado. As we've discussed, Colorado is a wagon. We'll talk about them coming up soon. And then lost 4-3 to Nashville, a team that maybe you don't want to lose to Nashville, but they've been playing very well recently. The Wild lost to Nashville, so lots of teams have been losing to Nashville. And even Colorado lost a game to Nashville recently. So that's nothing to be upset about. 7-2 win in their last game for Utah. New Jersey just ended their losing streak finally with a 3-2 win against Columbus. Of course, I was on Columbus in that game when they blew that 2-0 lead. Devils stormed back, got that 3-2 win. Now they're coming home here in this one. The side is tricky here. New Jersey 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings. Of course, they've only faced each other, I believe, 3 times since Arizona moved to Utah. But 6-1-1 going back in the last 8 when Utah was Arizona. I can't wait till I don't have to say that anymore in a couple of years. 4 consecutive games going under. But there will be those people that will say, hey, Utah has only played. So, yeah, I want to make sure I'm clear. 4 games in a row going under 5.5 between these two teams. And I did say I like goals on a lot of games in the slate. This one, I'm not so sure if it's going to be a very high scoring game. Now, Utah has gone over 6.5 in 3 of 4. So they've been trending towards the over, just the Devils have not. So no side or total play here, but we're going right back to Dylan Guenther. Anytime goal plus 180. Just scored a hat trick, his first career hat trick in the last game. And same reason I took him now, hasn't had the success against the Devils like he has against the Isles, but is a streaky guy. Went on a streak earlier, like 4 or 5 games ago, and then had a 3-game stretch where he didn't score, scored in back-to-back games. He's shooting the puck a lot right now, and I just have to take him here. Anytime goal. Dylan Guenther here in this one. Scored in 1 of 4 games against New Jersey. So not a whole lot of success against the Devils, but that's okay. I don't mind. Guenther. Plus 180 here in this game. Other guys in goal streaks, Mikhail Sergachev has scored in back-to-back games for Utah, plus 750. And then Clayton Keller scored in his last game, plus 215. That's basically it. Not a lot of goal streaks here for this game. We'll go to the chat here. For Buffalo? What do you mean? VIP. Tage and Doan. Tage and Doan. I think we keep riding Guenther. Yes, keep riding Guenther. Maybe a sleepy spot for the Devils. Yeah, I can see that. Might be happy that they just broke their losing streak. But yeah, no real side play here for me in this one, in this game. But we will continue on along with our next one, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers. The Flyers, plus 155, road dogs. Edmonton, minus 185, home favorites, a total of 6.5 here in this one. Goaltenders, Calvin Pickard, likely to start for the Oilers. No one yet announced for the Philadelphia Flyers. Should be Dan Vladar, who has the goaltending advantage. 14, 6-3, 2.4 goals against average, 9-10 save percentage for Vladar. Pickard, 4-5-2, 3.69 goals against average, 874 save percentage. And looking at previous games, Edmonton 3-1 in the last 4 meetings, 3 of the last 4 going over 6.5, and 2 of the last 3 going to overtime between these two teams. Would not shock me to see a high-scoring game that's potentially close between these two teams. Looking at player props, Carl Gunstrom had his 4-game goal streak snapped in his last game, plus 650 to score if you think he can get back on track. Travis Konechny has scored in back-to-back games for Philadelphia, plus 230. And then Jack Roslovic has scored in back-to-back games for Edmonton, plus 290. And Zach Hyman Back-to-back games with a goal, plus 155. 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10. Hyman has scored, plus 155 in this game. I think Hyman goal is probably a good look here in this game. Hope the chat is doing well. Yeah, me too. Got it. Thanks, Team Fireside. I watch the hockey games that are available on Disney Plus. Not all games are on every night in Arizona. Oh, well, that sucks. I hope we get to see some of them, the good ones, for sure. But moving on along to our next game, the Montreal Canadiens and the St. Louis Blues. Here in this one, Montreal minus 120, road favorites, the Blues plus 100, home dogs, and a total of 5.5 here in this game. And I'm interested to see on who we get in net for this game. Montreal, Jakub Dobish is listed unconfirmed. I still believe that they have 3 goalies here on the roster. Fowler is still up. So to be determined who's going to be in net for Montreal. And then Joel Hofer started here on Friday night. Do they go back to him on the second night of a back-to-back? Or do they bring in the Olympian, somehow, the Olympian, Jordan Binnington, who happens to have some of the worst numbers of any goalie in the NHL this season. And it has been incredibly tough for him in December. 1-5 for Binnington, a 4.77 goals against average, and an 839 save percentage. So giving up almost 5 goals a game in December. Not doing too well. That's fair to say for Binnington. So would not surprise me to see St. Louis go back to Joel Hofer on the second night, even on the second night of a back-to-back. How do these two teams do against each other in the past? St. Louis has actually won 4 of the last 5 between these two teams. 7 games in a row going over 6.5, and 9 of the last 11 between these two teams has gone over 6.5. And then looking at what Montreal has been doing recently, they've won 3 of their last 4, 6-2, 5-4 shootout loss, 3-2 overtime win to Florida, 7-5 win against Carolina. Both of these teams involved in high-scoring games right now. I'm pretty surprised to see this total out of 5.5. I like the over. And if Jordan Binnington is in net, I really like the over here in this game. I also like Montreal. I think Montreal wins this game in high-scoring fashion. But the Blues have had Montreal's number recently. But the Habs here, 12, 3, and 5 on the road. They are on a long road trip. They are. They are on the 6th game of a 7-game road trip. So 1 more game in Dallas after this. And they are 3-0-2 so far on this road trip. So Montreal has played really well on the road. I do think this is a good spot for them. I think they score some goals in this game, especially, as I said, if it's Jordan Binnington. Guys on goal streaks, I'm going to look into this game more tomorrow morning, but Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki have both scored in back-to-back games. Caulfield plus 140, Suzuki plus 190. Of course, not the best value, but Caulfield has scored in 4 of 7 against St. Louis, and Suzuki has scored in 4 of 7 against St. Louis. So both guys have had success against the Blues. They're scoring right now. Other guys in goal streaks, Slafkovsky 3 of 5 and Demidov 3 of 5, plus 260 for Slafkovsky, plus 290 for Demidov. And then Braden Shen has scored in 3 of 5 games for St. Louis, plus 410 here in this game. Go to the chat here. If my mouse will work. There we go. Plus, this is my second year betting hockey, but Pickett and FanDuel show this is my most profitable sport on betting on the Big Four sports. Awesome. Yeah, NHL is my best sport as well. So maybe because I don't know the teams and the players, I heavily rely on coppers like Terry. Hey, I appreciate it. You got to start somewhere. I didn't know the teams and players when I started betting. It takes time. It takes time. Now all I do is think about different players and teams, and that's all my mind thinks about. So, yeah, I appreciate that, Adrian. Hockey is a great spot to bet. I love the live bet value. Yeah, you can get great live betting opportunities for sure. Once you watch more hockey, you will understand how momentum and streaks are everything. I agree for sure. Sport, yes, sport. But moving on along to our next game, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the San Jose Sharks. Tampa Bay minus 190 road favorites. The Sharks plus 160 home dogs, and a total of 6 here in this one. No confirmed goalies here for this game. I believe it should be Andrei Vasilevsky against Yaroslav Askarov here in this one. Looking at how these two teams are doing recently, both playing very well right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning come in here on a win streak. Back-to-back wins here on the road. Bear with me for a second. They've won 6 games in a row. 6-4 against Carolina, 4-1 against St. Louis, 4-2 against Florida, 5-4 shootout win against Montreal, 4-3 overtime win to Anaheim, and a 5-3 comeback win against the LA Kings. So Tampa Bay winning games, scoring at least 4 goals in every game during this stretch. But they're giving up 3-4 goals a game recently during this stretch as well. And then you've got this San Jose Sharks team who's come into this game winning 3 games in a row, 6-3 against Vancouver, 5-4 against Anaheim, and 4-3 against the Wild. The Sharks team is just playing really well right now. Got themselves in a playoff spot at this moment, and I've seen rumors that they're obviously not going to be buyers and that they've settled in their fate and they're going to be sellers at the deadline. But you really shouldn't be settled in on your fate when you're in a playoff spot. I think the Sharks team could sell and still find a way to sneak into the playoffs with how the Western, the wild card race is right now. So, watch out for the Sharks team. They continue to play well. Now, they have struggled against Tampa Bay, but that shouldn't surprise anybody. Tampa Bay has been a Stanley Cup contender, while the Sharks have been a rebuilder. So past history between these two teams, you have to bear in mind that. Tampa Bay, 9-1-1 in the last 11 games. 3 overs, 2 unders, and 1 push to a total of 6. This is another game where I think we get goals. Both teams are scoring goals right now. And would not shock me at all to see the draw cash here. I think this could be a close, high-scoring affair in this one. Play for me. I've not obviously pulled the trigger on it, to be determined on the odds, but Igor Chernyshov, over half a point. With the Sharks being a plus 160 dog here, I would assume that Chernyshov points likely going to be plus 110. Hopefully, maybe we can get plus 120 somehow. But as long as it's over better than minus 120, that's as far as I would go for the point prop. Chernyshov has had a dream start to his NHL career. He has points in 6 of 7 games, 2 multi-point games during his most recent stretch, has an assist in 5 of 7, and now he's scored in 3 games in a row. He's just playing really well on that top line with Macklin Celebrini. A ton of chemistry building between those two guys. Of course, you're not going to get value on Celebrini point or even assist, but we're still getting a ton of value with Chernyshov. So I'm going to take him here, depending on, of course, what his point prop is at. I'm going to take it. Now, like I said, he has scored in 3 games in a row. So if you want to take him for a goal for bigger plus money, you could do that. Plus 340 for Chernyshov to score here in this game. I'm assuming that we'll get plus money for the point. So I'll be on the point prop. 2 other guys to consider in this game. Nikita Kucherov, who I mentioned on the last show. Shout out to Sean, one of the viewers and one of the members on the YouTube channel as well, that went and bet Kucherov anytime goal. Of course, I mentioned it on the show. Wasn't one of my plays. Didn't end up getting to it, but he did. I'm glad he did because it cashed. Kucherov has scored in 4 games in a row, plus 135. I think that obviously plus 135, not the best odds, but I do think Kucherov extends his goal streak here in this one. And then Macklin Celebrini has scored in 4 games in a row as well, plus 175. So Celebrini 4 games in a row, Chernyshov 3 games in a row on that top line. It's been incredibly dangerous for the San Jose Sharks. Eklund, Celebrini, and Chernyshov on that top line. Any of their props are a good look, but I like Chernyshov because he still has that really good value at this point in time. And we'll go to the chat here. It took me about 2 years to get in tune with current players and team styles. Yeah, it takes a while. It does. Live is great. Back to the importance of momentum. Yeah, for sure. How did the books continually and always undervalue the Sharks? I don't know, but the books pricing doesn't make sense to me in a lot of games. A lot of teams that they kind of undervalue. And it's not like the Sharks team has played well for a few games here. There's been, obviously not every game, but there's been stretches throughout the season where they've been so good, and obviously they're in a playoff spot. So your favorite team in the NHL? Yeah, I think they're really good and really exciting to watch, and a really bright future. The Sharks team. Plus 1.5, minus 150 for me would be a parlay piece, but Chernyshov and Will Smith's absence has stepped up perfectly. Yeah, and what a top 6 when Will Smith comes back. What a top 6. Riding him in Wise. If it's Askarov, money wine is worth a stab? Maybe, but I can't step in front of this Tampa Bay Lightning team right now. But I'm not going to step in front of the Sharks either. We'll go with Chernyshov. Over half a point here in this game. Next up is the Chicago Blackhawks and the Washington Capitals. The Hawks, plus 270, road dogs. The Capitals, minus 340, home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here in this one. The Caps, minus 340, home favorites, is a little much. I get it. It's the Chicago Blackhawks. But I do not think this Washington Capitals team, with how they've been playing recently, deserves to be minus 340 in this game. Now, coming off a 4-3 loss to Ottawa, they did beat the Rangers 6-3, lost to Florida 5-3, beat New Jersey 4-3, lost to the Rangers 7-3. So the Capitals involved in very high-scoring games. And the Blackhawks, 2-1-1 in their last 4. So they've got points in 3 or 4 games, despite not having Connor Bedard. And those 2 wins, both 4-3 against the Dallas Stars. So they have beat a very good team twice in their last 4 games. Now, having said that, Dallas is not playing well right now. So if Dallas was at their best, I don't think Chicago would have won both games against them, but they still won those games heading into this one. I'm not taking the Hawks. I know I might have with that breakdown, I might have been kind of leaning towards the Hawks. If somebody forced me to bet a side in this game, it would be Chicago plus 1.5 here in this game, plus 100 or plus 110. I do think there's value with that. The Hawks, obviously, that 7-3 loss to Pittsburgh, but 3-2 shootout win against the Islanders, 2 wins during that stretch. The Capitals have only covered the puck line in 1 of their last 4. So I could see an instance where Chicago plus 1.5 cashes here in this game. How have these two teams done against each other? Washington, 5-1 in the last 6, 7 overs, 2 unders, and for 5.5, 8 overs and 2 unders in the last 10 meetings. And the Caps have scored at least 4 in 6 of the last 7 games between these two teams. I do think Washington team total over is a good play here, but I am expecting now with a total of 5.5. I could be wrong, but I am expecting not great value here with the Capitals. Team total over 3.5 is minus 150. So there you go. Obviously out of my price range, but a good parlay piece. They've done that on 6 of 7 against this Hawks team. I think the Capitals can get to 4 goals during this game. And not going to wait to see what the point prop is. I'm going with the goal. Give me Alexei Protas anytime goal, plus 300 here in this game. It's just incredible value for Protas, who just continues to produce on a nightly basis for us. I've cashed in his point prop 2 or 3 games in a row now. He has scored a goal in 6 of his last 8 and 5 of his last 6 home games. He's been really great at home. Previous games between these teams have been high scoring, both teams scoring goals right now. So just incredible value with Protas, plus 300 here to score a goal in this game against the Chicago Blackhawks. Taking a look at some other players on streaks here. Tom Wilson has scored in 3 games in a row. He's a good look as well, but he's not plus 300. He's plus 140. So an incredible difference. Wilson is on that second line, been producing a lot, but Protas is on that top line. Now, Wilson is also on the top power play, so I can understand why he has worse odds than Protas, but plus 140, plus 300, there's a pretty big difference there. So if I had to choose one, which I'm just choosing one, I'm going with Protas. Strome has scored in 3 of 5, plus 230. Teuvo Teravainen has scored in back-to-back games for Chicago, plus 500 for Teravainen to score here in this one. Let's see here. Lightning may just end up brothering them. That's possible. Radish has been good for Tampa Bay, point and anytime goal. Radish. Let's see here. I know he was on a really big streak, Kelly. I think he did kind of cool off a little bit. Let's see here. Back-to-back games with 2 points. So never mind. Back-to-back games with 2 points. Back-to-back games with an assist. Scored in one of the games. So yeah, Darren Radish has still been very productive recently. Hagel, Point, Kucherov. Yeah, you can look at those. Usual suspects. Both teams to score first period. Tampa, San Jose. I can see it. Burakovsky and Bertuzzi should have major value with a line this wide. Yeah, not really on a streak enough for me to take them, but over Chicago, Washington, yeah, especially if you can get 5.5 with how both teams are playing right now. Spencer Knight is locked in. Maybe, but he hasn't necessarily played all that well recently, so I don't know if he's locked in. He's lost 4 or 5, 3 goals, 2 goals, 4 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals. So isn't necessarily getting lit up, but hasn't been a brick wall. Chikrin, Tara's guy. Wilson's been good too. Yeah, I agree. Protas is my guy. Right now, Chikrin was my guy earlier on in the season. I depends who's on a streak. My favorite players are whoever happens to be cashing for me at that time. If he's playing, they have a shot. Yeah, for sure. The Protus prop last game was the best drama of all time. Guy early boarded, gets out, and comes back late and scores. Yes, it was just beautiful. And that's why I said on X, Protus is the definition of a hockey player, because that's what hockey players do. So, got to stick with him here. Been an over series. Yes, it has. Quite a few games that we're talking about in this slate have heavy over histories. So it could be, like I said the other day, and I think it's going to be another high-scoring slate here on Saturday. Radish would be on my Team Canada. There you go. I'm still not paying enough attention to the Olympics yet. I'll get there once the NHL is on break. But moving on along to what probably is going to be the game of the night here. Colorado minus 140. Road favorites, the Hurricanes, plus 120 home dogs, and a total of 6 here in this one. The Avalanche announcing that they have placed Mackenzie Blackwood on IR. So it should be Wedgwood here in this game. Now, let me make sure I'm getting the right wood here, because yes, Blackwood has been placed on injured reserve. So I'm just seeing him listed here as potentially starting tomorrow, which is obviously not the case because he is on injured reserve. So should be Wedgwood here for the Avalanche. And then for Carolina, to be determined. Brandon Bussey got the start in the last game, but did not do well, obviously. The Montreal Canadiens getting the 7-5 win in their last game. The Colorado Avalanche coming on this game on a big win streak, and they've been scoring goals. 5 against Minnesota, only 1 against the Utah Mammoth. 6-5 shootout win against Vegas, 5-2 against LA, 6-1 against the Avalanche. 6-1 against the Blues. The Avalanche are scoring goals in bunches right now. Meanwhile, this Carolina Hurricanes team just gave up 7 to Montreal, 5 to Pittsburgh, 3-2 against the Rangers, 5-2 win against Detroit. Before that, they gave up 5 and a 5-2 loss to Florida, 6-4 loss to Tampa, 4-3 loss to Florida. The Hurricanes are giving up a lot of goals right now. And they have this Avalanche team who's coming in, scoring 5 goals a game. Pretty simple here. Give me the over. Now, I've not locked it in yet. I'm likely going to end up locking in the over 6.5. Most bettors, especially ones that are more casual bettors, only have access to DraftKings and FanDuel, which is the case. And both of those books usually always have 6.5s. So I tend to release lines and bet lines that are more available to paying customers. And this is one of, obviously, my plays that will be on the site. So I have over 6 listed here at minus 120. I've not locked it in yet. I'm likely taking the over 6.5. If you can get the over 6, of course, take it. Always take the 6 before taking a 6.5 if you can for that extra insurance. As I just said, Carolina giving up a lot, Colorado scoring a lot recently. Looking at previous games between these two teams, Carolina's won 3 of the last 4, 5 games in a row going over 6.5. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over 7.5. Very high scoring games between these two teams, and we could very well get Frederik Andersen in net. I think Colorado is going to score a bunch in this game. I think Colorado doesn't give up a lot, but I think this is a spot where Colorado's going to give up some goals as well. Now they gave up 5 to Vegas a few games ago. But yeah, I think this is a game where we get goals on both sides. Give me the over 6 or the 6.5. Honestly, I'm probably pulling the trigger on the 6.5 here in this one between these two teams. But looking at goal streaks here, Nathan MacKinnon has scored in 3 games in a row, plus 105. So actually plus money, which is a little bit surprising. Brock Nelson has scored in back-to-back games, plus 260. Marty Necas has scored in 3 of 5, plus 230, facing his former team. Now he did score in his only game against Carolina. And then Andrei Svechnikov scored in 3 of 5, plus 240. I do think he's a good look for the Hurricanes here in this game. Goals. I love goals here in this one. Terry, I'm rooting for your Wild to catch the Stars, and you know why. It's so funny because, yeah, I know who you're talking about, Mel. I know you're not a fan of Stars fans, and I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great game to watch. Finally, a team that I think can compete with your Avs here in this. Now, Carolina hasn't necessarily been playing well, but I think we get their best effort here in this game for sure. Slam Avs money line and forget about it. Minus 140 is out of my range. I don't go past minus 135. Minus 130 most of the time, but yeah, no side play for me. Give me goals. Forwards, Marty Necas, anytime goal. I don't hate it, Tommy. I don't. Only 1 game against Carolina, his former team, but he scored in that game. Now, hold on a second. That game was at home. So he has not gone to Carolina yet. So, yes, I'm probably going to have to end up getting to this. Scored in 3 of his last 5. What's shots on goal looking like? 4, 4, 5 his last 3 games. Well, shit. Well, shit. People wanted me to swear. There you go. Yeah, this is an excellent play. I'm going to have to add it. I'm going to have to likely add it here. Great. Another play. I'm trying to keep it down. Give me the over. I might have watched Terry's Picks and Parlays look ahead video already laughing. Well, there you go. But yes, I'm glad you like it, Rich. Over. Terry, all of us in Denver are totally confused about the Blackwood injury. Yeah, me too. It kind of came out of nowhere. Oh, don't start 6-7 shit around here. I don't need that stuff around here. Come on, Boog. No. Colorado 9-game win streak. Boston 10-game. Boston. Tampa. Buffalo, Kelly. Buffalo. Not Boston. I was going to be like Boston 10 in a row, but yeah, Buffalo. It's all good. Tampa 6 straight wins. Dallas lost 4. Jets lost 8. Vegas lost 7 and 8. Yeah, a lot of teams in good and bad funks right now, for sure. Mac Daddy playing like he's proving something, right? Yeah, he's red hot right now. I worry about a 4-1, 5-1 push in this total. Carolina may not score. I think they will. Score. I do. I think they will score, but I could be wrong. Mel, is that you, girl? We miss you. Mel saying hi to Kelly. Nature's Point. Yeah, probably a good parlay piece, but Nature's Goal will have the value for sure. Terry, the Dallas Stars are finding out what happens when the power play and the luck start to dry up. They are a mid-team at best at 5-on-5. Yeah, they're definitely not playing well at all right now. That's for sure. I don't know how you lose to the Blackhawks. You lose 3 games in a row. Then you go and face the Blackhawks again. I don't know how a team that's supposed to be a Stanley Cup contender goes and loses to the Blackhawks again when the Blackhawks have lost every other game they played recently against anyone else except Dallas. So, yes, I'm not a big believer in Dallas right now, but they could easily turn things around and look really good at any time. So I'm bouncing out. We'll catch the rest of the show later. Thank you, Kelly. Thanks, Terry. And if that's you, Mel, we miss you. See you sometime in the other 6 p.m. show. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Kelly. I hope they do score. Me too. But I think the Avs will score more. I do. The Avs are going to score too here in this one. But final game of the night before I get to the rest of the games on the slate segment, I did skip 3 or 4, of course, which we'll talk about. The Wild, plus 120 road dogs. The LA Kings, minus 140 home favorites, and a total of 5.5. Now, with this game, I obviously have to see how tonight's game against Anaheim goes, of course, before I would consider pulling the trigger, before I do pull the trigger on anything in this game. But the Wild are a dog against the LA Kings at home. I may have to bet the Wild just because. Now, of course, I want to see how tonight's game goes, but 99% I'm going to be on the Wild here. They should not be a dog. I get it. Second night of a back-to-back. Gustafsson starting tonight. Jesper Wallstedt will be in net here for this one. The Wild, who had struggled against the Kings, have won 3 of 2 in recent meetings. This LA Kings team has been absolutely awful at home. Finally playing well at home, had a lead against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They blew it. The Wild won the first meeting between the two teams this year in a shootout. I get it. LA Kings are at home, but being at home is not an advantage for the LA Kings this year. So the Kings should not be minus 140 against the Wild, even on a second night of a back-to-back. So yes, I'm betting the Wild again. Sorry, guys, but this game is not priced correctly. Now, I do want to see what happens with tonight's game, of course, but this, like I mentioned earlier about with the book odds makers pricing, I don't understand why the odds makers do not price the Wild correctly. It's astounding to me here in this one. Kings are playing to the first period over, which is so surprising because they've been such a low-scoring team. But I like that first period over. The Wild have been very high-octane offense recently. How can you not be on the Wild? Kings and Rags aren't winning at home this season. Yeah. The Kings are a favorite against the third best team in the NHL, but if the Wild win against the Ducks tonight, they'll be tied with the Stars for the second best record in the NHL. This is a line that people would say is fishy, but as I've discussed before, I don't believe in fishy lines, and this has not been a one-time occurrence. The books continue to do this with the Wild, and this is why I've been betting them a lot on the show. Obviously, during this stretch where they've been so good. Obviously because they've been so good, but also because the books are just giving us insane value with them all the time. So there's that. Looking at props here, I'm not on any props in the Wild game tonight. As of now, I'm not on any props for tomorrow's game either. I want to see what happens. Goal streaks, nobody's on any kind of big goal streak right now on either team. So currently no props here. Become a member on the YouTube channel. Hit the join button. $4.99 a month will get you my whole Saturday card, which I'll be releasing on the YouTube channel in the post section tomorrow. I don't understand how the books don't price the Kings correctly. Why the hell are they anything? I don't know. I can't explain it. They just look at the team is at home, so they have to have the advantage because they're at home. Well, not necessarily, as we've seen. Score early and not again, opposite of the Ducks. I like Minnesota first period tonight too, with everything else. All right, I like it. Terry, I'm nervous about the Avs losing both games this weekend. The Canes will be so up for this. Nordiques Whalers. Oh, it's Nordiques Whalers jersey night again. Oh, I like that. And then 19 hours later, I love those jerseys. I love both. I love both of those jerseys. I wish both of those teams were still in the NHL, but that's for another time. Then they have to play Florida 19 hours later. Well, the Florida game, it depends how today's game goes. If Florida smashes, then it could actually be a Colorado spot. But if the Rangers somehow win, then I might be nervous about that game. But that'll be for another show. The other games that I did not break down on today's slate. Let's see here. Toronto and the New York Islanders. I wonder why I didn't break this game down. Toronto's won the last 2 meetings. The Islanders had won the previous 5. 3 of the last 4 meetings between the teams have gone under 5.5. No interest in backing this game, backing either team in this game. And then looking at player props, not getting to anything here. Matthews scored a hat trick in his last game. Looked really good finally. So he'll be hoping to keep that up here. But Toronto did come back and end up beating Winnipeg, but 5-10-1 on the road. They are just not good overall on the road, and I'm pretty sure the Leafs are favorites here in this game. Let me get the odds here. Bear with me for a second. Minus 105 for the Leafs, minus 110. So minus 110 each way at some spots. Lean with Toronto, but on the road, I don't want to take them here. So it's a pass. Winnipeg and Ottawa. Very interesting game. Winnipeg 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings. They've had a lot of success against the Senators. 0-4-1 to a total of 6. So 4 unders and 1 push. A lot of low scoring games between these two teams. And the total's 5.5. 2 of the last 5 meetings going to overtime. The Senators are on minus 140, home favorites. The Jets plus 120, home dogs. The Jets have had a lot of success against Ottawa. They're going to win a game eventually. I thought it might have been against Toronto, and the Jets were very close, but they have been close during this stretch. They've just not been able to finally do it. Not sure if this is where they finally get it done, but Ottawa obviously has goalie issues. Levi Merrilainen now the starter until Allmark returns, whenever that is. This is a team they've had success against. Maybe this is the spot for Winnipeg, but I don't want to put my money on them. That's for sure. Looking at props here in this one. Bear with me for a second. Goal streaks. Ridley Gregg, 3 of his last 5 plus 400. Scored in his last game, but not any real kind of streak here. Nashville and Calgary. Nashville's won 3 games in a row between the teams. Let's see what the total is at here. 5.5. Okay, perfect. 6 overs, 2 unders in the last 8 meetings. A lot of games finished with 6. So if the total was a 6, there would be a potential for a lot of pushes. But here, 5.5. I would kind of lean with the over. Nashville has been scoring as of late. The Calgary Flames have been playing better recently as well. The Flames have won 4 of their last 5. 5-1 win against Philly, 2-1 overtime win against Boston, 3-2 win against Edmonton. So the Flames are not really allowing a whole lot of goals right now. So ultimately not going to get to the total here. And then guys on streaks here, goal scoring wise, not going back to Stamkos, who didn't score in the last game. Scored in 3 of 5 plus 215. Roman Josi has scored in 3 of his last 5 games plus 525. And Connor Zary has scored in back-to-back games for Calgary plus 600 here in this one. And the final game of the night, Boston and Vancouver. Vancouver has won 3 of the last 4 meetings. 1 over, 4 unders, and a push for a total of 6. And I will not be betting the final game of the night here. Vancouver's been an over team really as of late. Now, of course, this will be the second night of a back-to-back for them. Boston finally ended their losing streak with a 6-2 win against Edmonton. They've been involved in high-scoring games, but previous games have trended towards the under. Ultimately, not going to be getting to anything here. And goal streaks, not a whole lot either for this game. Drew O'Connor, 3 of his last 5 plus 600. Linus Carlson, 3 of his last 5 plus 460 here in this game. Let's go jump into the chat. Go Wild, push the Stars down in the standings. That's the plan. Best of luck, everyone. Let's crush it tomorrow. Cheer, Swag. Best of luck, OG. Best of luck, Swag. Best of luck, Fireside. Thanks for watching. But that's it. That is tomorrow's show. Make sure to like and subscribe button. And as I've said, if you want all my plays for tomorrow's slate, become a member on the YouTube channel. Hit the join button, and you'll get all my plays tomorrow, probably around noon Eastern, maybe a little bit before, including my NFL play tomorrow, which includes my Super Bowl pick. So make sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Good evening. Hey, Brian. How's it going? I could actually see the Canes potentially taking it easy in Carolina with so many Carolina key pieces injured and looking ahead to smacking Florida. Draw might be the play. All right. Best of luck. Best of luck. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night for Sunday show. Might pre-record that, as I sometimes do for the Sunday slate. But thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks, Terry. No problem. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.